reading Kite Runner book or maybe the Thousand Splendid. And Mike always asked me to do this presentation for you guys in a way because it's become easier for you to understand the situation in Afghanistan and Kabul. And also it helps to understand much better the book when you read the Kite Runner, like example. So yeah, I will do it for you guys today. I hope you like it. And if you have questions, you're free to ask.
Yeah, Naser is done with English, so he's doing this in his generosity. And in fact, he's done it, like 6 times before, just to be generous. And he's graduating in a week and a day, in 8 days. And thanks, Naser. And and I can just let you guys know that, so in the fall term, what I've done with English 7 in the past, and what we'll probably do, is that we'll work with both a novel and a movie that take place in Kabul, in Afghanistan. And so it's A Thousand Splendid Suns and The Kite Runner. They're both written by the same author, and the students usually really appreciate them, or they've all really loved the book and the movie. All right, so Naser, I'll let you get started. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Yes, so I'll start by presenting the Kabul city, the capital of Afghanistan. Yes, Kabul is the capital city of Afghanistan. It's about 3,500 years old city, and it's about 8 to 10 million people living in Kabul right now. So I'll show you more pictures about Kabul. Yeah, this is how it looks Kabul at night. This is the biggest mosque in Kabul. And also this is the biggest wedding hall if you want to get married. So you have to like book a wedding hall and invite your relatives like that. Because people, when they get married, so they have to invite about at least 500 people. It's a tradition in Afghanistan. And this is this place called New City because it's built after the Cold War, and it's a place that a lot of diplomats, ministers are living in this area, and it's a beautiful place also. Like they build it very nice. Yeah, this river goes across the Kabul, and it's not always have this much water on it, but sometimes when it's raining or when it's snowing in the winter, then it's full of water. Yeah, this is how Kabul looks at summer and also in spring. Yeah, and this you see these buildings. These buildings was built by Soviet Union under the Cold War. Yeah, and this place called Karva, and it's a place where people go for picnic, like when it's summer, when it's warm, so people go for picnic. But the interesting thing is like it can be like 35 up to 40 grades warm in this place, but you can see the mountains. It still have snow and it's cold up there. It's very interesting when you see the pictures. Yes, and this is also the same place, and this place is very like if you see the water, it's very dangerous to swim on it. I don't know why, but a lot of people die in this water when they want to swim. Nobody knows the reason. It's maybe because people don't know how to swim, or maybe there's something wrong with the water or something else. But nobody knows. But a lot of people dies in this water actually. Yeah, a lot of people maybe wonder Afghanistan, especially Kabul, is a warm country, a warm place. But no, we also have winter. It can be minus 20 grades like Sweden. It can be as cold as Sweden or maybe much colder. And this year it was much more snow in Kabul, as I heard. In Sweden, wasn't so much snow, especially in Västerås. Yeah, it's a winter night in Kabul. It's a winter day. When it gets sunny and it's snow in the night. When it's snow in the night and at the day it gets sunny, then it's very cold. It can be minus 25 grades, and it's when the winds try to touch your face, then you're gonna get tears because it's too cold. Yeah, here we can see, if you see the Kite Runner, so the story is about two guys who are best friends, and they like to, yeah, they're trying to have, they're trying to be together, but they, in some situation, they get angry to each other, and they split. Yeah, here we can see some NATO and ISAF soldiers trying to help a kid with their kids. This is how, if you have heard in the news that American soldiers or NATO or maybe some other country soldier trying to help Afghanistan. So this is how it looks. They are in Afghanistan. Yeah. Here we can see a kid who is studying besides he's working, he's boot polishing for people just to earn some money and get some food for their family. Yes, here we can see there was a bomb blast in Kabul about 4 years ago. This picture is from that bomb blast. And a lot of people died, a lot of civilian people died on that bomb blast. Yeah, and in this picture, there was some terrorists who attacked a military hospital and killed a lot of soldiers and military generals. And now we can see the special forces are on the roof, and they're trying to like take over and take back the hospital from the terrorists. Yeah, this picture is not from Kabul. This picture is from Herat. And if you read A Thousand Splendid Suns, then the history is about in Herat. And this picture, this mosque is the 5th biggest mosque in the world. That's why I want to show you, and a lot of my classmates like this picture. That's why I want to show you also. Yes, so, and this is also a big city doll in Herat located. Herat once was a capital of Persian Empire, and it's a very big and cultural city actually. Yeah, and this is also some minarets that are located in Herat that are from 14th centuries, I think. Yeah. Yes, thank you. If you have questions now, you're free to ask me.
Is it your own pictures?
No, it's not my own pictures. I don't have any pictures from Afghanistan, because when I came to Afghanistan, I was just about 17 years old, and I didn't knew how to like where this journey ends. So I didn't talk anything with myself, and I didn't. And it's not too secure also for everybody to like to get these pictures, to go so close to other folks, to like a situation in a place that was bomb blast. It's not very easy. It's just maybe journalists that take those pictures.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now that you're not now that you're not using the PowerPoint anymore, do you want to maybe turn it off and just go back into regular mode, or do you want to just have a small, you know what I mean? Otherwise our pictures are really small.
No problem.
Cool.
No. Yes.
Anyone else want to ask a question, or maybe you can ask in the chat too if you want. You know, one of the things that you've talked about in the past is the relationship, like just a briefly, like what the ethnic groups are and how their relationship is to each other. Because in the Kite Runner and in A Thousand Splendid Suns, there's kind of different issues between different ethnic groups, right? Hazara and Pashtuns and Tajiks.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's a lot of nationalities that are living in Afghanistan. It's like Sweden, but in Afghanistan they are native people. They are who lived. Those nationalities have lived in Afghanistan more than 500 years, or more than 500 years. 500 years. So they're like, everyone tried to say, "Oh, I'm from this country. This is my country. This country we should rule this country." So that's why they are not too good to each other. Like, they're Afghans or Pashtuns, they are Persian or Tajiks, and they're Hazaras. These are the biggest nationalities in Afghanistan. Then the Pashtuns have now the power in Afghanistan around 200 years now, and they're trying to remove all Persian culture from Afghanistan. They're trying to remove the language. Maybe they're trying to take over Afghanistan. They changed the name of Afghanistan Before was something else. Now it's Afghanistan because they want to say that okay, everyone is Afghan now, and the national language should be just Pashto, not Persian, right? But right now it's Persian and Pashto. And because, and also Afghans are a little bit strict about Hazara people because they're Shia Muslims and we are Sunni, and also Afghans are also Sunni Muslims. So they say, oh, they are not believe the same thing as we do. It's some differences, so they are not the real Muslims, and they try to disturb them in a way. So it's a big deal right now in Afghanistan that there's so much racism in Afghanistan that people don't actually accept each other.
Yeah, and a lot of the it seems like the majority of the young guys who came to Västerås had Hazara background. Would you say?
Yeah, they are Hazaras people. They came. A lot of them came from Iran. I just know like maybe 5 or 6 guys that directly came from Afghanistan. But the rest of them, all of them came from Iran, and they left in Iran. They were born in Iran, but in Iran also they don't have a good life. Like Persian or Iranian people don't actually treat them well. Like they can't go to school. They don't. Sometimes in some cities they don't even have right to travel with buses or buy a ticket for bus or airplane, something like that. So it's very hard for them also.
Mm. Does anybody else have a question? Otherwise, I have a few more that well, one was the thing about that you've talked about that you would fly kites too, that it really was a thing when you were living.
It's a big thing when you're a kid. I got injured my fingers a lot. Like I still have the scars here in my fingers, and it will never go. I think when I was a kid, I loved to do that. Like it was my passion.
And you said you would like sneak out and do it at night or something.
Yeah, because at the day, like I was not allowed to go outside of the house. My family and especially my dad didn't want that. So I thought of an idea, like if I should like put a little light on the kite, and then I can fly it maybe at night, so I can see like a star. So I did it with my sisters, and it was really fun. It was really fun. All I saw was like a light, and it looked like a little star in the sky. So it was very funny. It was very cool.
Yeah, and when you've talked in the past, you talked about how like people were afraid to have their kids out playing too much in the day because it could be quite dangerous, and that you said like if a boy started to get facial hair, he wasn't supposed to shave it off and things like that.
Yeah, like in Afghanistan right now, have a society that if you are well, and that's the side that I left. Everything that I say right now is in my perspective, what I experienced it and what I saw. So it maybe can be different in other places, but what was in my village, in my city, in Kabul, in my society, that's what I'm sharing with you. I'm talking about. So, and well, in the village that I lived, like if you was a beautiful little kid, then they not called you a boy, they called you a girl. You're a girl, you're beautiful. So everyone tried to get beard when they were 13 or 14 years old. Everyone like shaved their faces every day. Oh, I'm a man, I have to have beard or mustache. So people stop calling me a girl. And people who are a little bit, kids who are a little bit beautiful, they get raped by men, by criminals. Like they can go outside like they are not free to go outside too much because their lives are in danger also. Sometimes they get killed by those criminals also. So just try to like shut down the problem.
Yeah, it's kind of when we've talked about it in the past, it's the reason it's partly more relevant is because the Kite Runner brings up these.
Yeah, exactly.
It includes these types of problems, and also that like sometimes boys can like get kidnapped by powerful men or something like that.
Exactly. They can be, yeah, they can be kidnapped and raped and killed. So that's why a lot of families don't allow their children to go outside. Like, it's not safe for them.
Well, in the past, we've asked you so many interesting questions, and there's of course a million we could ask you. And
Yeah.
but I imagine if we're gonna share this with people, we probably don't want to get too much into your personal story. But I mean, you moved here just like 4 years ago, right?
5.5 years.
Okay. But you know, it's great that you have a great life. You know, things are going well for you in Sweden, and I know that a lot of the people who have come, you know, it's not as always doesn't always work out as well if it's quite difficult with, like, if they don't get maybe permission to stay, and there's problems with you know, maybe because they have post-traumatic stress disorder from abuse on the traveling and stuff, and then you know, there's problems with drugs and violence. And I don't know, how do you feel about those questions? Or is it you don't really hang out with a lot of Afghanis in Sweden?
I actually, I do and I don't do. It's about, like, I am not, like, this Sweden society that have affected me a lot. So I like to stay at home a lot, like play games, watching movies, hanging with friends at home, like not going out in the city, or maybe, yeah. So that, because of this Sweden society has affected me. But I know some guys. That they don't have the permission to stay in Sweden, and some guys who didn't have, they left Västerås and Sweden for other countries. And I know some guys that have, but I don't hang with them a lot. I don't hang out with them a lot. So that's why. But it is very difficult. It's very difficult for people. It was difficult for me also in the beginning when I came here. And I told them, for the first, they didn't believe me that I'm from Afghanistan, because they said, no, you don't look like Afghans. Because they knew just Azaras are just the only Afghans. You don't look like Afghans. And the language you speak, I speak the old Persian, and they say it's not. Those who speak new Persian, they don't understand you. Why? I said, because I'm speaking the old Persian, I am a little bit, it's differences. Then they said, no, you can't do that. It was very difficult for me also. But then I tried to convince them, no, I am from Afghanistan. I tried to explain for them everything. At that time, I had learned Swedish. So that's why I explained everything in Swedish. I said this, like that, like that. And I said, you can Google it. Why should I don't even try to convince you people. You can Google, you can search on it. It's a lot of nationalities. Like Hazaras are not the only people. They are the 5%, the whole Afghanistan, and we are about 40 to 45% of Afghanistan. Like, a lot of our people don't came to these countries because they're in the military, they're in the government, they're like in the war against the terrorism, like that. But I got lucky. I ran, so I couldn't stay in Afghanistan. Now you don't believe me. And then they said, okay, we should take a decision about it. And then they said, okay, now you can stay permanently here in Sweden.
Wow.
Yeah, it was very difficult in the beginning. In fact.
Yeah, I can imagine. Well, does anybody else want to ask any final questions before we conclude here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you want to learn us some Persian?
What did you say?
Like, do you want to learn us something from your language?
Yeah, okay. I think the easiest meaning that I can learn you is, like, what's your, like, if you say my name is, what's your name?
Fia.
Fia, like, okay, in Persian, if you say, in Swedish we say man to everyone, but in Persian you say man, I. Man means I. And if you say name, you say nam. So you say name, man. You say mitt namn. Och sen Fia. Och sen, the only word that you have to learn is ast. It means is, or are in Sweden. So mitt namn är Fia. Name man, Fia, ast. It's very easy, I think.
Nome man Fias.
Yeah, exactly. Name man, Fia, ast.
Cool, thanks.
Yeah, welcome.
All right, Naser, well, I'll stop recording. Stay on the call. We can chat a little more before we end, but I'll stop recording now. So thanks a lot.
Welcome, Mike. You're welcome.
Share your time with us.
No problem.
Thank you.